What's up guys, we're back in the garage with the R32. So today's video is going to be about the Enkei RPF1 wheel and the fitment on this car. All right, so let me start off with explaining why I wanted to make this video. It's not going to be a very long video. I'll leave that for something else. But when I was researching the Enkei RPF1 on this car, which is the GTS-T, I kept finding pictures of the RPF1s on GTRs, specifically the R32, but I really couldn't get a whole lot of information on the offset and size and the fitment and everything. So a lot of people go with the 17x9 by plus 35. And I fortunately got a hold of a set of 17x9 plus 45s, and I put them on the car and noticed there was fitment issues. And I got to doing some measuring and figuring out that I needed to go with the plus 22 to be able to get that wheel to fit on the front of this car without running wheel spacers. That was one of my things or criteria for having this wheel is I didn't want to have wheel spacers. I mean, with as many wheels are out there right now and as many options, you really shouldn't have to run wheel spacers. But some people do to get the fitment they want, which is cool, but I just didn't want to run them on this car. So when I was doing my research, I just really couldn't find any information. So today's video is going to be about how they fit on this car, and then I'm going to take some measurements for you guys so that anybody who's researching putting the Enkei RPF1s on this car or another car can just know that physical measurements of the 17x9 plus 22 Enkei RPF1. So let's get you in here and show you how they fit on the car, a little bit of a side angle and everything. I'll take you off the stand, and then I'll take some measurements from the brake rotors and everything to the spokes, so people can use this video for some information in the future. Okay, let's get you guys off the stand and over here. So like I said, these are the 17x9 plus 22 wheels, and this is the fitment on the R32 with Fortune Auto coilovers lowered a little bit, not too much. You can see, you're gonna see the gap here in the fender once I go around from the other side. But this is the amount of poke I have without the fenders being rolled or pulled on the front. And then on the rear, without any camber set in, here is that fitment. So you can see how much they poke out without any camber. And then you can see how high the car is. It's not lowered. Due to the roads around where I live, I really can't slam the car down. So that is the fitment of the Enkei 17x9 plus 22 on the GTS-T. Now, the problem wasn't so much in the rear of the car, it was more in the front. You can see right here how close the caliper gets to the spokes. Now, when I put the plus 45 on, remember that is, what's that? 23 millimeters. Yeah, 23 millimeters further in. So I called the guys at Fitment Industries to discuss the wheels, and fortunately enough, they got me some answers on how they add the space for the plus 22s, and they push this center hub back, and then also, you can see here, they add material to the rear of the hub. So, let's get on to some measurements. So for anybody who wants to know, the plus 22 spokes on this guy, let's get you mounted here, are at the closest point from the rotor, looks like 2 3/16 of an inch, and then the spoke is, I can't even put this tape in there, we go, 1 1/4 inch away from the brake caliper. So as you can see, I can't run a plus 35 on here. So I'm assuming anybody with a plus 35 wheel, which someone else is gonna have to chime in, is running wheel spacers to get it to fit. So to get you guys some more measurements here on the front. This wheel is 10 inches wide. So even though it's a 17 by 9, this outside lip here is 10 inches wide, and this inner lip right here is 1.5 inches deep. So that is the fitment of the front wheel on the GTS-T. That low, very little camber. I can't put any camber into the rear because I don't have any camber arms. So let's move into the rear and see what we got here. So here's your poke looking the other way. And that wheel pokes out roughly 1/2 inch where it starts to roll. So we have from the caliper to the spoke, it looks like 1 1/8 of an inch. And then the disc to the back mounting flange, the back of the spoke is 3 1/16 of an inch. So there's your measurements for the Enkei RPF1 on the R32. If you have any other questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments and I'll answer any questions about that. I just found that there wasn't a whole lot of information out there on the fitment. Luckily the guys at Fitment Industries were able to call their rep and get me some information on the wheel, which made me feel a little bit more comfortable about it. So I am gonna roll the fenders and get some camber arms for the rear. This side's a little bit lower and it actually has a little camber on it, so you can see that. And the fitment. And here's the driver's side front as well. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope it was pretty informational for you. I'm about to do some other videos on this car, some maintenance, some upgrades and stuff, so watch the next one. Thanks a lot. See you next time.